Yo, what's good, boys? Osman again with another fucking banger. We literally just posted 3 days ago and we're already back. I don't even give a fuck. If you have still yet to watch that last video, go watch it. Insane value in that one. But in this one, we're talking about the VSL framework that made my client $22,000 in cash collected in the last week alone, in the past 7 days alone. And I pocketed around $8,800 USD after paying the team. Here's proof of that, so you guys don't think I'm lying to you guys. Gonna be revealing my exact marketing strategy and show you guys how to build your own VSLs. So every single lead that you hop on the sales call with is pre-nurtured, and 100% of their objections are already pre-handled with this actual funnel that I'm gonna show you guys. And I'm also gonna be giving you guys the exact framework that I used to build the VSL for this client that just collected $22,000 in cash collected in the last 7 days alone. Hope you guys enjoy this video. Let me know what other videos you guys want to see, and remember, grab your pen and paper and start taking notes. So what we're going to go through in this video, just so you guys kind of get a high-level overview. So first of all, we're going to go through why do we need a VSL or sales assets in the first place, right? So you guys don't just think this video is useless. We're going to go through why should every online coach or every business owner in general should have a VSL. We're going to go through different types of VSLs, which ones you should use, which ones you should incorporate into your own business based on your personal case, the most optimal framework to use for your own VSL, and breaking down each part of the actual framework so you guys can literally go make your framework after watching this video, right? So without further ado, let's just get fucking started. So first of all, why do we need a VSL or sales assets in the first place, right? Why do we need a VSL? Why do we need a video sales letter? So I want you guys to really have this, and I think I had an old video about me going through this ladder. It's super important, right? And I want you guys to have this in your brain at all times when you're doing any type of marketing, any type of copy, any type of DM setting script, anything, right? So first of all, here's the process that any single human in the world goes through before indulging in buying in something or investing in something, no matter the value of the product, right? So obviously, first you're product unaware, then you get product aware, then you trust the product, and then you love the product. I'm saying this super easily, but this can be a 2 minute process, as well as it can be a 6 month process, a year process. It depends on the product, right? For example, let me see something. This bottle, whatever, right? This water bottle right here. So I probably walked in a store. Let's say I just bought this like alone, right? So I walked in the store and I saw this. Then I went from product unaware to product aware. And then I don't know. Let's say I start reading on the bottle, right? You people don't do this, but obviously no one does this. But just giving you guys an example. I start reading. Oh, good minerals. Okay. Not a lot of fat, no calories. Amazing. So now I trust the product, right? I'm here. And then obviously loving the product. Oh, I like the packaging around it. Whatever the fuck, right? It depends on the actual product. I just want you guys to have this in your brain that depending on no matter the price or the value, right? You have to go through this chart. When I bought these, right, I went from product unaware to aware to trust, and then I saw everyone, all my friends, oh, the audio is amazing. Then I trust the product, and then oh, they look so simple. I love the product, right? And then I fucking buy it. It's super simple. And what every step of the ladder solves, so you guys actually understand what I mean by this, if you guys didn't understand that example, from going product unaware to product aware, how do you solve this? IG content and stories. So let's say you're an online coach. How do you make someone that's product unaware product aware? By IG content and stories. Posting on your IG content, content that's relatable to your niche, solving common pain points, helping people get to their desires, helping people solve the gap between the desires and where they're at right now. And then people are slowly going to go on your profile. Let's say if you have an optimized profile, I can already tell you're a fitness coach, dropshipping coach, mindset coach, whatever, right? How do you go from product aware to trust? Is DMs, building connection, building a real connection with your followers, your leads, your prospects, whatever you like to call it. And this is mostly the appointment setter job. If you don't have an appointment setter, you're gonna have to be in the trenches and do this yourself. Obviously, make a script so you have frame over all your DMs. If you want a script, watch the video that I posted, everything you need to do to build a 30K a month coaching business, or just DM me script on Instagram. I'll give you my personal script template. How do you go from trust to love? It's VSL. And this is why you need a VSL, because it shows your personality. It shows which type of person you are outside of business, outside of the content. A raw video, right? It doesn't have to be super fucking edited, brain rot video. It doesn't have to be that. It can just be a raw video of me talking to you like this, right? Most of my clients have raw videos, right? And it basically just shows your personality, and you can do so much in an actual VSL that people don't even realize. So now that we know that, why do we need a VSL or sales assets in the first place? Why should every online coach or business owner, let me just say business owner because everyone should have one. Why should every business owner have a VSL? So if you do your market research correctly on your ICP, you should know their pains, their desires, their roadblocks, their limiting beliefs, what's stopping them from getting there, etc. Right? So ultimately, you should know more about them than they know about themselves. And this is a very big marketing angle, is when you know more about your prospects than they know more about themselves subconsciously in their brain, that's when you can sell them, because you know what their problems are. You know what they're subconsciously thinking without them even knowing it. And what knowing all of this allows you to do is know what objections are going to come up on the sales call, because you know their limiting beliefs. You know what's stopping there. They're not ready to invest in themselves. They don't trust themselves. They've always had this bad background about themselves. They had, I don't know, a family that abused them, so they're not ready to take action on fitness. It can be a numerous amount of things, right? So what can you do to solve this? Make a process selling VSL that pre-handles all of your ICP's common objections. So if you know all of your ICP's limiting beliefs, then just make a VSL around that, literally handling all of those objections subconsciously. And it doesn't have to be so direct. I'm gonna go into what a direct VSL and an indirect VSL is in a second here, but it doesn't have to be so direct. You can subconsciously handle it without them even knowing it. And by the time they're on the call, you're so nurtured that it's so easy to sell them. It shouldn't take more than 20 minutes to sell your prospect if your VSL is good, right? So the point of this, basically make a process selling VSL around their limiting beliefs. Now, now that we know that why VSLs are so important and what you need to do to actually build a VSL, there are different types of VSLs. So there's two types of VSLs. So there's either a direct VSL or an indirect VSL. So what a direct VSL is, just to sum it all up, it's basically the buyer knows you're trying to sell them, right? So you sometimes you put this on your landing page. The buyer knows you're trying to sell them. You're basically just communicating the value of your product so people can book a call if you have a VSL funnel, or just kind of just trust you more, watch YouTube content, and then eventually book a call with you and buy from you. Now, an indirect VSL is when the buyer doesn't know he's getting sold to with marketing tactics. So he's subconsciously handling all the objections, like I just mentioned here, without them even knowing it, right? So you're telling them about your stories, you're telling them about case studies. In the case studies, you say their limiting beliefs. You talk about your own clients and say limiting beliefs that they had, but the whole time the limiting beliefs are the whole ICP market as a whole. So you're just saying your case studies, and the prospect thinks that as well. But subconsciously, the prospect has all the same problems as your client that you're mentioning in your case study. So what's going to happen is they're going to see themselves in your client, and then they actually trust you. So they're going to want to hop on a call with you. They're not going to no-show, right? Because a lot of people have no-show problems. A lot of coaches, a lot of people that I've worked with have had previous no-show problems before I start working with them, and a lot of it is because they don't have a real reason to hop on. When I see a VSL and I see stories of 5, 6 exact people that had the same exact story like me, and it sounds like literally my life, but it's not really me though, then I'm gonna subconsciously want to trust you more, buy from you more. Why? Because I know that you can help me, because you've helped exact people that were in the same situation as me based off of what you're saying. And direct VSLs are mostly used in the agency space, and indirect VSL are mostly used in the coaching space. And now, which ones should you use and in which cases? So direct VSL, you probably got an ROI based offer, so you have a guarantee. You probably have a biz op offer or a coaching offer. You got an offer where you need to understand how it works and how it can actually help you before you indulge in buying it, right? So this can be agency. What do you actually do to help me get leads? What do you help me do to convert these leads? Are you placing a closer? Are you doing cold? What are you actually doing? So basically, it's quantifiable. And then something that needs a visual representation. So when you're going to be on the actual sales call, you probably have to screen share at some point and show some results. Show the ad campaigns that you're running for your own clients. Show the cold email campaigns. Show your own ads, showing that you know what you're fucking talking about, right? Now, as far as my own clients, all of them have indirect VSLs because they're all in the coaching space. So indirect VSLs, you probably got an offer where you're the main case study. Give me 1 second here. You probably got an offer where you're the main case study of the product, right? So you have a personal brand around your actual product, and it's not just your product that does all the selling, but your personal brand around that product. You're selling something that is mostly centered around you, basically what I just said. Probably not very easily to quantify, very easy to quantify, and doesn't require much visual. So when you hop on the call, it's basically most of it is just mindset, right? So having a good script, you don't really need to screen share at any point unless you have like a school community or something like that. But it's a lot more easier to sell these offers, in my opinion, than to sell an agency offer, because with agency, it's just super complicated. You have to show a bunch of stuff, but you can still pull this off. I scaled my own agency to around $15,000 a month until I moved to growth operating and working with coaches personally. Now, now that you guys know which one should you probably use, right? So if you're a coach, just use indirect VSL. Don't complicate it. If you're in the agency space, use a direct VSL, right? So here's the most optimal framework for your VSL. And don't worry, this is going to seem like so much right now, and I know it. I'm going to run you guys through exactly what it is and each one of them, right? So first of all, introduction. Who are you? Who am I speaking to in the first place, right? Because let's say you're an online coach and you're doing cold out. I like to call it warm outbound because you're reaching out to people that are actively engaging with you. But let's say when you're doing warm outbound, I know who you are. I've seen your page. I know your name, but I haven't directly built a connection with you, right? Because I know that your content is going to, excuse me, thousands of people. So you're not directly connecting with me. You're connecting to the whole ICP market as a whole. So introduction, who are you? Who have you helped? What have you done? What's your own story, right? If you're doing a fitness coaching offer, I want to see your story. I want to see how you went from being skinny to being muscular. I want to see how you went from being fat to being muscular, right? I want to know your story. Clarifying the goal of the problem. So this is just market as a whole. Case studies, social proof to add to show people that you know what the fuck you're talking about. Like literally this. So I showed you guys that I know what I'm talking about. I showed you guys results. So you guys don't just think that I'm just fluffing around, right? Um, One sentence persuasion, we're going to get into what that is. But basically, if you can pull this off, this is your biggest money making lever by far in a VSL. The crossing bridge, so how do you actually cross from the point A, so where they are right now, to the point B, where they want to be, so basically in their vacation state. The crossing bridge, the three-step process, so breaking belief and instilling new beliefs in their mind subconsciously, so when they hop on the call, they're nurtured and they're ready to buy. More case studies, selling the vacation. So this is where the part where you just need to put them in that dream state where they understand that if they actually work on themselves and take action, they're going to be in that vacation state forever. The benefit of the benefit. So what do they actually get by working with you? And then CTA at the end to obviously add some urgency to the offer or to whatever, right? Now, obviously, I know you guys probably didn't understand shit about what I just said, um, but I'll explain everything right here. So breaking down each part of the VSL framework. So first of all, clarifying the goal or the actual problem that they have currently, right? So the first step in any VSL is to clarify the goal or to clarify the problem that they currently have. And this is designed to hook the prospects into watching your whole VSL because your VSL might be 20 to 40 minutes long. They need a reason to watch that 20 to 40 minute VSL, right? I'm not VSL. I'm not going to watch a VSL just to watch a VSL. I'm not going to wait 40 minutes of my life. I need a reason to actually watch the VSL. So you want to make an initial bold claim that will keep them glued to their seats. This can be a guarantee. This can be a case study. This can be you directly identifying their problems. So much stuff, right? And then obviously case studies so you know what you're talking about. And why do you have clarifying the goal and case studies right next to each other is because the first 5 minutes of the actual VSL is probably the most important, right? That first 5 minute is going to designate if they're going to actually watch through on the whole 20, 30, 40-minute VSL, right? Shit, sometimes even an hour, right? Give me a reason to watch an hour VSL, right? You have to give people a reason to listen to you, like I just said. So to build credibility, showcase real results first. Share at least 3 success stories from your clients, and mix. This is so important. Mix both modest and impressive outcomes, because not everyone's gonna connect with this guy went from 0 to 100K a month. This guy went from 0 to 70K. Not everyone's gonna connect with that, right? The guy who's just trying to make ends meet is going to connect way more with someone that might even be making 5K a month, 10K a month. He's going to connect way more than that guy with that guy than the guy that's making 100K. And that's just me being honest. Like that's how the subconscious mind works in the humans, right? Before I started making any type of money online, I would 10K a month was just a goal. That was just the thought that we had. It's like I want to hit 10K a month. I wasn't even thinking about 100K a month. Right now, obviously, we're scheming, but back then we were only thinking about 10K a month, right? Then share your own journey and impact and how you've actually helped a bunch of people transform and the number of people you've actually helped. Um, third. So who is this for? So this is basically qualifying, right? So if let's say anything was wrong about the DM set, right? You let someone in that wasn't supposed to go through. This should solve that problem, right? In the initial state, you shouldn't let anyone come through that's not qualified, but some people might lie to you. Some people are like that. So you want to use this to qualify and just call out your market specific pain points, right? And this shows that you really understand their struggles. So that you're basically connecting with them without even speaking to them, right? They're just watching a video of you speaking to the camera and they feel like they have this older brother almost connection. You know what I mean? So make it clear. So this solution is exclusively for people facing these exact problems. And when you say that, then people subconsciously, if they're not struggling with that, they're gonna either cancel their meeting. And you want that, to be honest. You don't want to hop on calls with people you're just wasting your time with, right? This shouldn't happen too often, though. And anyone else should leave, like I just told you. So this targeted approach builds trust with your ideal audience while filtering out everyone else that is unqualified. So super simple, not hard at all. One sentence persuasion, right? This is so important. After the hook, you need this one critical sentence. It shouldn't be so long. It shouldn't be like 3 minutes long, but you need a critical sentence to explain why they've struggled, right? Validate their suspicions. So what they're currently fearing, basically, remove their fears, point out who's against them. Point out who's against them, guys. Drill that in your brain. Point out who's against them. People buy from people that throw rocks at their enemies and take their side, right? So let's say if I've invested in a bunch of courses and they ended up being shit, hate on those courses, hate on those gurus that are just wasting your time, making you spend 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 bucks for just giving you a course. Hate on those people because then I feel like you're on my side. And then when I'm gonna hop on VSL, it's the connection's already made. Most of the time, what happens when people hop on sales calls and they don't have a VSL, it takes 10 minutes to break the ice. Why? Because you have not built a connection with him yet. It's like speaking to a stranger for the first time. You're not gonna start talking about your personal embarrassment, personal like embarrassing stories in the first 10 minutes of speaking to each other. No, you're gonna do small talk, right? Compared to if you have a VSL and you've already connected with them and their problems, and when they hop on the call, they're so ready. They're ready to get into their pain points. They're ready to start talking to you about their problems because they built that connection with you, right? And then in the end, after you point out their enemies and throw rocks on them, fuel their aspirations, right? So put them in that vacation state. You don't want the whole VSL to be so negative, right? You want to make it something positive as well. Example, it's not your fault you struggle to succeed. The gurus sold you on bad advice, but with the right system, you can achieve the freedom you deserve. This is a one sentence persuasion, and this is perfect. It's not your fault you struggled to succeed. Explain why they've struggled. You're telling me that it's not my fault. So I'm automatically taking the side with you because you're telling me it's not my fault. The gurus sold you on bad advice. You're throwing rocks at my enemies. Gurus, I bought a bunch of courses and they ended up being shit. So you're hating on the gurus. But with the right system, you can achieve the freedom you deserve. You're telling me that it's possible. You're giving me light at the end of the tunnel, right? And naturally, I trust you more because of that. The crossing bridge. So people don't buy features. They just don't. They buy beliefs. So if you're on the sales call on the VSL trying to say, my program, you should buy my program because this, it has all this cool stuff. You're going to start making a shit ton of money. No. Show me that you actually believe in your product, right? So instead of bragging about your solution's mechanics, prove why it's the truth and what they've been searching for, what I've been searching for. You want them to believe that organic marketing is the only path to dropshipping success. Make them believe it. Show them why. Don't just tell them how it works. Don't tell me that I'm going to hit 10K a month with dropshipping because you just want to tell me that and spam me with a bunch of case studies. Show me why you actually believe in that. Right? Give me a visual representation. Right? Now in dropshipping case, you would have to give something visual, a bunch of visuals, but in the coaching space, just make me believe in your product. Talk with confidence. Your tonality, how you speak, how you're moving your hands, your body language, everything. People look at these things, these small things, and it tells me if you're confident in your own product or not, right? The three-step process, so breaking beliefs and instilling new ones. If you can pull off this part, it is your biggest money-making lever by far. So share your three-step blueprint. So here's the magic though. So after each step, tell a story of someone who was just doubtful as your viewer. So a case study, but transformed completely. So these stories crush doubts and prove that your method actually works. So for example, I tell you the first step, and then I say, see how Sarah went from 0 to 50K a month without ads? You can too. Second step. After the second step, you'd say something else, right? Obviously put some pictures or get an editor to do it. And then you do this 3 times, right? And subconsciously, they build that trust, and it's so amazing because when they hop on the call, they're so nurtured. I don't understand why half of you guys, more than half of you guys, don't have VSLs. It's so important. It's so easy to sell people when you have VSLs. More case studies, so prove that your method actually works, and these aren't just success stories that you're making off the top of your head. There are people who started exactly where you are now, skeptical as fuck, struggling, but they trusted the process and transformed. And here's exactly how they did it. Show me a process. Show me the transformation. Give me pictures. If it's a fitness coaching offer, show me Sarah before and after joining the program, right? Show me John after joining the dropshipping program, making 1K a month as a Starbucks barista to making $10,000 a month with organic dropshipping. Show me that. I want to see that. I want to relate to that after selling the vacation. So you don't want to, like I said, you don't want to make the whole VSL so negative. So in the end, you want to end it on a positive note. You don't want to end it on a negative note ever, 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 because then it's going to be so hard to close. Because the last thing they remember you saying is something negative. So when they hop on the call, they're going to have this negative point of view of you subconsciously. So end it on a positive note. So we've already identified where our prospects are currently, but now we must cover what our prospects' life will look like if they actually make the change. What's going to happen in your life in 3 months if you take action? What's going to happen to your body in 3 months if you take action and start going to the gym? What's going to happen if you actually invest in yourself and start doing drop shipping and you make 10K a month in 3 months? Who are you going to be able to help? Apart just the zeros in the bank account. Apart from that, what is it going to do for you? Are you going to be able to help your family? Everyone has a different why, right? And better yet, how you and your client's life changed and how they can do the same. Case studies. Once again, case studies, biggest money making lever by far. The benefit of the benefit. So before the CTA, we want our market to know what our partnership would look like. So I want to know what it's going to look like to work with you. And we do this by giving them a high level overview of how we're going to specifically help them in bullet points. So we want to list out all the benefits. So this is where you actually list the benefits, right? After, you don't want a results man right here, right? Because this is still early in the VSL, right? You guys might think, oh, 5 steps in. No, this is still early in the VSL. So towards the end, we want a list of benefits. So your audience wants to know what's in it for them, what's in it for me, what am I going to do if I start working with you? What's the action steps, right? I don't just want you to tell me that I'm going to get here. What's the vehicle that's going to get me there, correct? Uh, and your audience wants to know what's in it for them, and highlighting the benefits is the best way to show them. But it's not enough to simply list the benefits. It's never enough. So you need to paint a vivid picture of how your product or your service or your coaching can solve their problems and make their lives better as a whole in only a couple months. And then lastly, the most important part, CTA for urgency. If you don't have a CTA, you're not going to make any money, right? This is all a waste of time if you don't have a CTA. So you need to actually give them the last push, the last motivation before they hop on the last call. And this is why I highly recommend when you have your calendar set up on Calendly, make it only so they can book like 4 days ahead, 3 days ahead, so they don't actually forget what happened in the VSL. Because if you give them like 2 weeks to book ahead, if today I watched the VSL and then we hop on a call a week and a half later, I promise you, I don't remember your fucking VSL. I don't remember half of what you fucking said. So make sure you only schedule like 3 days ahead, 4 days ahead. And it honestly builds a lot of authority too because people think that you're so booked out when it's really just deciding in Calendly, right? So a strong call to action is crucial in any marketing copy, ads, um, anything, right? It needs, you have a CTA and everything because it's the final nudge, it's the final push that encourages your audience to take action and actually convert, right? And without a compelling CTA, your copy may fall flat because they don't even know what the fuck they should do next, right? Okay, so you just motivated all of me. You gave me case studies. I believe in you. What should I do next? Tell me what I should do next. So to create a strong CTA, use persuasive language and a commanding tone. Make it clear what you want your audience to do next. Whether it's signing up for a newsletter or making a purchase or just using urgency to encourage immediate action so when they actually hop on the call, they buy your program, such as limited time offers or scarcity tactics. This is mostly for low ticket, but if you're running high ticket, this is the most important right here. Give them the last push so when they hop on the call, they know what their next step is, right? And if you combine all of this in a VSL, I promise you there is no reason that you should have below 40% closing rate. There is no reason, right? This is literally everything you need. Now, I'll even do something else for you guys. If you guys want my personal VSL framework, DM me the word VSL on Instagram. Let me just put my Instagram right here. DM me the word VSL on Instagram. A lot of you guys DM me story on the last one. Just DM me VSL and I'll send you my personal framework. Hope you guys like this video. If you have a coaching business yourself and you're running below $5,000 a month and you want to scale your coaching business, you don't know what you're doing wrong, you have the right system, you think you have the right systems, but you really don't, and you want access to the right systems, DM me skill on Instagram and let's talk, or you can even book a call below. But yeah, hope you guys enjoy the video. Let me know what other videos you guys want to see next, and yeah, peace out.